Beneath me lies one of the most powerful creeper farms I've ever built. This thing cranks out over 160,000 gunpowder per hour. It's the heartbeat of my entire world, fueling every rocket, every TNT farm, and every explosion you've seen in this series so far. But up until now, it's been sitting out here completely exposed. No protection, no design, just raw power. So today, we're finally changing that. I'm building a massive castle, the Creeper Shrine, right on top of this farm. A build worthy of the chaos it creates. And if you're new here, trust me, you'll want to go back and watch how it all started. From the first TNT duper to the fully automated farm that made this project possible. Every episode leads up to this moment. This is the ultimate upgrade. Let's get to work. To build something this massive, I'm going to need a ridiculous amount of materials. And we're not talking stone and wood. We're talking deep slate, prismarine, end rods, and lanterns. After hours of grinding, the materials chest wall is finally full. Now it's time to clear some space for this monster build. We've got our materials stacked higher than a stack of TNT, over 200,000 blocks all ready to go. But before we crown this beast of a farm with the ultimate creeper castle, we've got to make some room. This farm is pumping out 160,000 gunpowder per hour. That's enough to blow up the entire overworld if I wanted. But the land around it needs a little work. It's like Minecraft threw up a random world gen party. We're flattening out some area around the farm to give our castle the space it deserves. Think epic fortress, not cozy cabin. Pro tip for you mega builders: why swing a pickaxe like a noob when you can let the farm do the work? I'm duping TNT straight from the flesh of the creepers. Gunpowder into sand, boom, instant demolition crew. And boom, watch that hillside vanish. One shot and we've leveled what would have taken hours. Creeper power, baby. Ironic, right? The things we're farming are now funding their own graveyard. Look at it. 250,000 square blocks of pure, flat canvas. The farm is still screaming at 160,000 gunpowder an hour, but right now, silence. The calm before the biggest castle Minecraft's ever seen. I promised you in the intro, a creeper castle so massive it'll make the Nether update look like a garden shed. No cuts, no world edit, every block placed by hand. Let's keep that promise. Phase 3 begins now. Alright, first up, the skeleton. Walls and towers. This sets the scale so it doesn't flop. Start with the outer walls. I'm using deep slate tiles for that classic vibe. Avoids creeper blast better than dirt. Now the towers. I'm doing one in each corner, starting at 23 blocks tall. This is a really common mistake, skipping symmetry. Measure twice with the F3 grid. As you can probably see, I have the first of the 4 main walls done. You guys know the drill, so with some simple editing, we have wall number 2, 3, and 4. So that took me about an hour and a half, but for you guys it only took about 10 seconds. I love the power of editing. We now have the main frame down for the creeper castle. I left some space for some arch pathways into the farm. I think they'll look a little bit better than just a door. So now I could add some detailing around the existing walls to add depth. Starting off simple with some deep slate arches and some lanterns being suspended by walls and chains for the added depth and lighting effect. Okay, I love the way that this first section came out. I love the glow of the lanterns with the complementary shaders on and the little archways. You will definitely be seeing those again in this build. However, I think that there's still a little too much empty space between the top of my head and the wall. So I think I should add another layer of decoration that should help fill that space and add a little bit of the elegant castle feel. Second layer added, and I love the way that this build is flowing. I'm only showing a short amount of the building just because it's on such a massive scale. If you would like proof of the whole build being done, I will be posting the raw footage to this account after the video goes live. With what we have, there's just enough space up here, I think, to add an end rod decoration, just like I wanted to. This will be the first time I've ever built with end rods, so I'm hoping it will look halfway decent. Okay, so this is kind of awkward, but I think that the polished deep slate will actually look better paired with the end rods than the cobbled deep slate will. The only problem is that I don't have any, so I guess I will show you guys how I got so much deep slate in the first place. I used these tunnel board TNT dupers designed by Shulkercraft, and they worked like a charm. This was just another part of the material grinding that I didn't want to bore you guys with. Just flying towards this massive frame gives me the chills. I can't wait to see the final result of this mega fortress. With the remaining deep slate gathered, polished, and crafted, we can now finish the third and final layer of detailing on the front wall of the creeper castle. This first wall gives me the chills. So much going on, and so much to be added to the remainder of the castle. However, now I want to shift my focus to the four corners. I have put an outline for 4 watchtowers in each of the 4 corners. These are mandatory for every castle built in the history of castles. I would like to keep the same Enrod designs on these because I think that they provide a sense of defense and elegancy to the castle. I was able to watch some of Wax Fraud's videos in some of my free time, and I learned a ton of building techniques that I've never used or seen before. For example, the deepslate wall to fence to chain to lantern design was completely from his videos. However, in my case, I decided to use the end rods opposed to the lanterns to provide that futuristic look in this situation. I think that if you enjoy a slow and relaxing Minecraft video style, then I definitely think that you should check out Wax Fraud's channel. Anyways, back to the 4 main watchtowers. I also added some shunlight cutouts to add some depth and lighting to the flat part of the wall. I want every portion of this build to pop, and that might mean that I end up over decorating sometimes, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. Alright boys, it's time. The watchtowers are finally getting a roof, because apparently leaving them bald was a bad idea to some of my friends. My bad, I guess. So I'm using a very scientific mixture of deepslate, spruce wood, and prismarine. Basically, I picked 3 blocks that have no business looking good together, and somehow they actually do. It's like Minecraft's version of a chaos recipe. Now the trick with roofs is simple. Pretend you know what you're doing, place blocks confidently, and if it looks wrong, just call it texture variation. Trust me, works every time. I'm adding prismarine because it changes color, which is perfect for a watchtower. If the watchtower is glowing teal, it means everything is fine. If it's glowing dark blue, also fine. Honestly, it's more of a mood indicator than anything. And as we finish off this top layer, here is a fun tip. If you ever feel overwhelmed building roofs, just remember, they can't hurt you. They're just triangles in a square game. And there it is. Roof installed. Structural integrity questionable, vibes immaculate. Now these watchtowers finally look like they could watch anything other than me struggling. So with the 4 main watchtowers finally done, yes, all 4. No, I'm not rebuilding them again. We can finally move on to the second wall, because one wall isn't enough apparently. This base needs to survive like 12 apocalypses. This second wall is going right on top of the first one, but set back a few blocks so we get this nice little balcony or walkway, you know, for dramatic pacing when I'm running around pretending like I'm defending something important. But here's the catch. I can't just build this thing at any height I want. No. Minecraft is rules. Invisible math rules. And the most annoying one right now, the despawn sphere. For anyone new to this madness, the despawn sphere is a 128 block radius around the player where mobs basically decide, nope, I'm out. So if I want maximum rates in this mega monster farm, and trust me, I do, I need this entire build outside that sphere while I'm AFK. That means I have to go up, like higher than whatever the current level is, higher than my self-esteem when I first started this project, higher than the comment section when they tell me I missed a block. So before I seal this monster farm off and let it start doing unholy things in my mob cap, I've got to raise the sectional wall even more, because nothing says efficient farm like building a structure taller than my hopes and dreams. Alright, time to keep stacking blocks until Minecraft itself files a complaint. Alright, time to stop procrastinating. Let's finish off this first wall. So the plan is to add another interior walkway inside of the wall. Why? Because walking on just one level wasn't enough. We need options. We need layers. We need to pretend like this thing is actually defendable when, let's be honest, one creeper could ruin my entire week. This walkway is basically the VIP balcony of the wall, perfect for admiring the view or contemplating why I decided to build something this massive in survival mode. And now for the real glow up, the deep slate and rod trim, because we're not leaving this wall flat, we're giving it a haircut, a very pointy, very shiny haircut. Deep slate is doing the heavy lifting here. It's dark, it's moody, it screams, don't mess with me, I pay my taxes. Perfect for a fortress. And the end rods? Oh yeah, these are the finishing touch. Like magical glow sticks that make the wall look like it was designed by an ancient civilization that definitely knew redstone better than I do. And there we go. Interior walkway complete. Fancy deep slate cap installed, and rods doing their sparkly little dance. The first wall is officially not flat anymore. It has shape, style, and possibly better fashion sense than me. Alright, wall 1 done. Now let's go ruin our sanity with wall number 2. Alright, time for round 2, the second wall. Because apparently one wall wasn't enough emotional damage for me. This one's special though. It angles upwards and towards the center of the farm, but I still have to leave room for the third and final layer. Yes, third. I don't know who hurt me. Now this part is tricky. If I angle it too far in, I won't leave enough layer for the next section. If I angle too far out, well, then I'm basically building a pyramid, and that's not the vibe. We're going for imitating fortress, not discount Giza. For this layer, prismarine is the star of the show. Look at this color, absolutely gorgeous. Also constantly shifting colors, perfect for giving viewers motion sickness and boosting watch time. And to make it pop, we're hitting it with deep slate brick accents. These things make any build look like you hired a professional architect instead of just guessing until it looks good, which, let's be honest, is exactly what I'm doing. Then to spice it up even more, I'm dropping in red nether brick walls, because nothing says welcome to my monster farm like architecturally aggressive crimson bleh. Because nothing says welcome to my monster farm like architecturally aggressive crimson fences. First try. Woo! Try and say that sentence 10 times fast. And of course, the end rods. These little glow sticks make the perfect lighting combo. Also, I continued the archways that lead into the core of the farm with the same deep slate and hanging lantern designs. And there it is, angled upward, leaning in towards the center, but still leaving just enough room for the third and final layer. We're basically building the world's deadliest wedding cake. Alright, second wall is coming together beautifully, now we just have one more layer, and then the real chaos starts. Alright, the final layer. Wall number 3. The top tier of this absolute mega cake of structural violence. And this layer? Oh yeah, we're going big. As in, pixel art creeper faces on all 4 sides big. I want every mob, every player, and every lost wandering trader within render distance to know exactly what this place is all about. If you see a giant creeper face staring you down from 4 directions, that's your warning label right there. Prismarine is still the main color because it's iconic at this point. It's like the brand identity of this entire build. If I changed palettes now, the aesthetic police would just throw me in block jail. Honestly, this is the easiest pixel art in Minecraft, but somehow still stressful because if one block is off, the whole thing looks like a confused frog. And between each creeper panel, we're building these giant deep slate arches. Because if this place didn't look like a federal fortress before, it definitely does now. Deep slate arches instantly make any build look like it has lore, like there's a tragic backstory involving an ancient kingdom, a missing king, and at least one overpowered magical artifact. And there we go, the creeper faces are in. The deep slate arches are wrapped around this build like a medieval hug, and the whole third layer is finally looking like the final boss arena of the server. This castle has watchtowers, angled walls, layered defenses, and now giant creepers staring into your soul. The farm isn't even running yet, and it's already the most dangerous thing on the map. Alright, the third layer done, it's almost time to seal this monster farm off and unleash the chaos. Alright, we've hit the top, the summit, the point of no return. And what do normal people put on top of a mega monster farm? A roof. What am I putting on top? 4 domes with emerald beacons. Each corner gets its own dome, kind of like a magical hat for the castle. And we're sticking with the classic palette. Prismarine as the main block, deep slate bricks to make it look fancy, and red nether brick walls with end rods for lighting. Because if this place doesn't glow like a radioactive jellyfish by the end, I failed. Now, domes are weird to build. They start off looking like an egg, then a lopsided egg, then suddenly boom, it's actually a dome, and you pretend you meant to do that the whole time. Deep slate brick accents right along the ridge. Because if this dome doesn't have eyebrows, is it really a dome? No, it is not. In the classic lighting combo, red nether brick wall post with end rods on top. It looks like tiny glowing antennas. I love it. The mobs will not. Good. And now, the moment of flex. Emerald blocks. We're not using iron, we're not using gold, we're going full green money tower. Boom. Green beam. Beautiful. Looks like I just installed 4 giant laser pointers aimed at the sky to let everyone know that this base does not mess around. With all 4 domes up and beacons firing, the roof now looks like it has 4 magical reactors powering the entire castle. Or like I'm summoning something I definitely shouldn't be. Either way, vibes are immaculate. Alright, domes are done, beacons are blasting, this build is almost complete. Time for the final touches, and then we can unleash the monster farm. With some end rods here to light up the trim and some more over here to light up the pathways, it's finally time for the moment of truth, the first AFK test. According to the despawn spear math, which definitely didn't make my brain melt, this should be the perfect height. Alright farm, do your thing. Spawn, drop, perish. Make me proud. Oh yeah, it's working. Look at them go. This isn't a farm, this is a mob waterfall on the nether side. It looks like Niagara Falls, but angry and green. I just ran upstairs to go to the bathroom for 5 minutes and came back to 10 shulker boxes packed full of gunpowder. This is ridiculous. And just like that, the build is complete. The walls, the towers, the creeper art, the domes, the prismarine, the deepslate. Literally every block I own is now somewhere in this build. I'm basically broke, but in style. And this thing absolutely shreds. If efficiency was a crime, this farm would be serving life in prison. I mean, these mobs don't even get a chance to think. They spawn, they fall, they regret their life choices. It's beautiful. Seriously though, this might be one of my favorite builds I've ever done. It's huge, it's insane, it makes my PC sound like it's trying to escape the room, so 10 out of 10 for sure. And if you're still watching this right now, you are the real MVP. Thanks for sticking around all the way to the end to see the full build come together. I know this project was massive, and the fact that you stayed through the chaos, the block misplacements, and my questionable design choices, I appreciate you more than you know. Alright, that officially wraps up the mega farm build. If you enjoyed the journey, drop a like so the YouTube algorithm knows I'm kind of doing something right. And if you're new here, subscribe so you don't miss whatever ridiculous project I decide to torture myself with next. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.